Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records. I wanted to talk about the time that Black Sabbath's original lineup reunited in 1985 for Live Aid in Philadelphia. So we all remember Live Aid. Bob Geldof put that together for a charity event. We Are the World that preceded that. Do They Know It's Christmas preceded that, and there was a concert both at Wembley Stadium and John F. Kennedy Stadium or JFK Stadium in Philadelphia. And Bob Geldof approached Black Sabbath's original lineup to reunite. Now, Ozzy had famously been let go from Sabbath in 1979. He hires the Blizzard of Oz band with Randy Rhoads. They have two successful albums. Unfortunately, Randy Rhoads passes away. In comes Jakey Lee. In 1983, they do Bark at the Moon and finish that tour up in 85. You know, Black Sabbath maybe not quite as fortunate, although the two great albums that they did with Ronnie James Dio, Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules, were great. But then we go through a series of singers. 1983, Ian Gillan comes in for the Born Again record, which is really a cool record, but it doesn't really do that well. It's got that terrible album cover. So in the celebrating this event for World Hunger and USA for Africa, if you will, Hunger Relief Ethiopia, Geldof approaches Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, and John Paul Jones. Zeppelin reunites. Neil Young's there. Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, I think, reunite as well. REO Speedwagon, Phil Collins, U2, Queen, everybody plays on both sides of the pond. Famously, Phil Collins does both events in the same day, flies the Concorde. And here's what happens. Again, and Tony Iommi says this in his memoir, Iron Man. We probably thought it might be the first step towards getting back together again. The members have a rehearsal day the day before in Philadelphia. They rent out a rehearsal space, and instead of practicing all three songs that they're going to do, Children of the Grave, Iron Man, and Paranoid, they end up getting absolutely sloshed. They're supposed to go on at 10 o'clock in the morning with Billy Ocean before them and Run DMC after. And think about it, I think it's a 9:55 slot in the morning. I think this was on a Saturday in July of 85. Instead of properly rehearsing, they get absolutely bombed and hammered, and they go to the bar and they talk and they reminisce about the old times, as bandmates would do. I'm sure Children of the Grave, Iron Man, and Paranoid, they could do in their sleep. Ozzy was doing some of that in his own set, and of course Sabbath has to do those songs in their set. So I think it's awesome that that's what happened. You know, it does not ultimately, and by the way, the 15-minute performance ends up being very good. You know, Ozzy's motivating the crowd with his clapping, and the rhythm section of Ward and Butler are locked in. There's great energy on those tracks. You can find that performance on the internet. In fact, I'm going to put a link in the description to that performance here. You know, of course, it does not lead to a reunion quite yet. They would go through a series of singers, including Glenn Hughes and the Martin era, and Dio would come back. Of course, Tony Martin's in and out. Finally, in 1997, the original guys get back together. Through like 2004, and then, of course, in 2012, they get back together again. They do the album 13, which is great. Bill Ward is not on that 2012 reunion. And now on July 5th, we have the final show back at the beginning where the guys are going to be on stage together in some sort of limited capacity with Ozzy's inability to perform full songs, but bits and pieces. Anyway, that's my story about the time in July of '85 that the original members of Sabbath got together for a great performance. Check out the link below. Check out my channel. Subscribe. Peace out. See ya.